If you're ready for some NBA action, this is the place to be. After you've eaten all that food and you can find yourself on the sofa, slumped and ready to enjoy some action. And we start off with Jimmy Butler's NBA finalist, the Miami Heat, looking to prove a point against Zion Williamson's New Orleans Pelicans, who have real ambitions this year of making the playoffs. Before we move on to the proven dynasty, of course, against an aspiring one with the Warriors, who haven't seen an NBA court in a regular season of 200 days. I know, I sound so foreign to hear, but it's real. And Steph Curry right there will be looking to prove a point against Giannis Antetokounmpo, who's committed his future to the Bucks. Coverage starts at 7:30 there. Brooklyn versus Boston. I mean, we've already spoken about it. KD, Kyrie, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown. The J and the J's versus the K and the K's. This is real. Yeah, and it's potentially an Eastern Conference Finals matchup. That coverage starts from 10 o'clock on Sky Sports and Mix before we flip over to the West Coast. And that man right there, the man who stole all of the headlines after the postseason performance, does it again. Lebron James are running out of superlatives for his excellence, but he gets himself ready, geared up for another season. He starts off against a man that he holds in huge respect in Luka Doncic. Two triple-double machines, man, going against each other from 1 a.m. on Sky Sports Mix. Before I promised you drama to end it, and this is unfinished business right here. Not many teams go 3-1 up and then throw everything away. So you know Kawhi and Co are going to come back to try and prove a point. But that Denver Nuggets team, they proved everything down in Orlando, and we're probably the talk of the town when we all left Florida at the end. And they will round off all of the action as we go well into Boxing Day at 3:30 a.m. Gents, I feel spoiled. Genuinely, I feel so blessed. What a way to end this year. 5 games, 10 teams, over 12 hours. It's just going to be incredible. I don't even know where to start, but PJ, I'm going to let you go first. Whichever game you want to pick to turn around and say that you've circled on the calendar, please let me know which one you're most excited for.
Yeah, those are some great games. The NBA did another terrific job of creating narratives, creating storylines, and piquing our interest. But there are 2 teams in particular that I am really interested in seeing, not only just for the start of the season, but throughout the entire season. And one is in the Western Conference and the other is in the Eastern Conference. That is the Golden State Warriors versus the Milwaukee Bucks. Both of these teams, both of these organizations have something to prove from start to finish. If the Milwaukee Bucks, let's start there first, get off to let's say a 500 start or less, there are going to be a lot of questions about what is going on there in Milwaukee, because we cannot deny the expectations with a MVP, a back-to-back MVP player in Giannis. And then, of course, the Golden State Warriors. We all understood what happened with Klay Thompson, him having another significant injury, along with the ACL injury that he sustained in the finals, and then an Achilles injury now. So this team right now is looking to establish a new identity and figure out who and what they're going to be. And every game this season is going to be very important to the Golden State Warriors. Those 2 organizations, they have my interest. I think they're going to be playing with a sense of urgency because both have something to prove. And ultimately, both of those teams want to advance deep in the playoffs and try to win the NBA championship. So I'm very interested to see, because they have star players, they have a team that's willing to prove, and there are a lot of unknowns that we just don't know as fans. And Mo, I know you being the expert, I know you got something you're keeping your eye on, but there's a lot of questions here that we want to get answered here on the Heat Check.
Yeah, just, to echo that, the Golden State Warriors and Milwaukee Bucks matchup is so fascinating for me as well, because Golden State were heavily favorited to get Giannis Antetokounmpo. We all know how close Stephen Curry and Giannis are as friends. And, they were one of the teams that was in the mix to try and get his signature as a free agent, with Giannis extending his 5-year contract in Milwaukee. If he does get off to a 500 or less start, as you said, he may be getting some of that, remorse. When he goes to Golden State and sees Stephen Curry, he might be thinking, man, I should be over here. Like, it's not working out for me. So we never know what's going to happen. But, for me, we're talking about storylines. We're looking at narratives. You guys know. Even though I got a Bull sweater on, you already know underneath I'm bleeding green all the way through, because the Boston Celtics and the Brooklyn Nets, and that wasn't even planned. That's just because I wear Celtics stuff every day. The Boston Celtics and the Brooklyn Nets, This is the ultimate storyline because you got to think about it like this. Kyrie Irving, we all know how things ended so badly for him in Boston, but then also Kevin Durant. Before he left the OKC Thunder and joined the Golden State Warriors, he had narrowed down his short list of teams that he was going to sign with to 2 teams. It was the Boston Celtics and it was the Golden State Warriors. The Celtics, in fact, took Tom Brady, the New England Patriots legend, to go and try and convince him. They also took Kelly Olynyk, which was a little bit random, and possibly maybe why they didn't quite have the star power of Stephen Curry and Klay Thompson. But, you know, Boston were real close to getting KD. And then on the other side of things, Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, they were, of course, draft picks that Danny Ainge has picked. And, you know, Danny Ainge had these high draft picks from that trade with the Brooklyn Nets when he sent over Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett almost 10 years ago now. So, you know, the narratives, everything is so intertwined there. And it's kind of, you know, the younger generation versus the older generation now because Kyrie and KD, they're not the young players of the league anymore. So I'm really looking forward to that one. But the number one matchup for me on Christmas Day is, you know, I want to go off on a run about the Clippers and the Nuggets, but it's not going to be that. It is going to be the King versus the Don. That's what I'm looking for, man. I'm looking for the Lakers and the Mavericks. Every time they play each other, it's a classic. Luka triple-double, LeBron triple-double. It's going to be close. It's going to go right down to the buzzer. We might even see an overtime on Christmas Day because every time those two teams play each other, it's absolutely amazing.
I love your reaction to that game, especially being an LA native as well.
The King versus the Don. I'm just still enamored with how you broke that down. I was like, okay, the King versus the Don. Let's just have a one-on-one game here. Forget the other 8 guys on the court.
That's
but
what I'm saying.
You have LeBron. I mean, obviously LeBron has been the best player in this generation. And then you have this young up-and-coming player, Luka Doncic, who have really captured the imagination of all the basketball fans in the basketball world. So I think it would be great. I think it'd be great theater. And you know what, guys? I'm really excited about the season. Even though it's been a short off season, I'm excited. I'm here. There's a lot of storylines, and we're here to cover it. And we want all the smoke right here. And, you know, let's go get it.